the last 4 decades, the blood of thousands of people have cried out in horror against the crimes committed against humanity in the nation of Libya. This is a place where the very sanctity of life itself has been spit upon by those in power. A place where a mom has to fear sending her children to school for fear that they'll be gunned down for reading the wrong material. Fear of a prisoner going to prison. A place where only death itself provides relief. Or a place where an individual has to worry about a bomb going off in society because his government has labeled someone nearby an enemy of the state. Basically, it's a place where Muammar Gaddafi has taken over. For the last 41 years and counting, his reign of terror has robbed his people of their dignity, their joy of life, and for some, their very lives, just their very lives. So his reign has got to come to an end. And the whole purpose of this speech is to persuade you, the audience, that he must and should be stopped at all costs and he should be brought out of power. I'm just going to start with Gaddafi's early life. He was born in a desert region near the area of Sirte in the nation of Libya, actually born to a Bedouin family, so he came from the desert. He attended the University of Libya and then also attended the Libya Military Academy. And it was speculated that from here he began plotting his overthrow of the government. And he ended up overthrowing the government in 1969. He staged a very successful coup and overthrew King Idris of Libya, whom he later exiled to Egypt. Since then, he has taken over as the dictator of Libya and has been reigning strong for the last 41 years. And this has been a problem because, in a nutshell so far, he brought with him pro-Arabic, anti-Western sentiments, and he hates the Israelis as well. So he pretty much hates anything that's Western or what he calls imperialism. So for that matter, he also provides funding and assistance to people who need weapons as long as they're fighting in the name of imperialism, which has become a problem. But that's not the reason why I am talking to you about him today. He has committed horrendous crimes against humanity. I really want to focus on that because that has outlined his whole regime and defined who he is and who he's trying to make his government. All right, for starters, in September 5th, 1972, a group of terrorists actually went over to the Munich Olympic Games and they held Israeli hostages there, ended up killing 11 of them along with one German police officer, and they were actually sponsored by Qaddafi. Or December 17th, 1973, where 5 terrorists entered an airport in Rome, shot 2 people in the airport, then proceeded to an American flight, threw 3 explosives onto the plane, killing all 29 people, and then hijacked a plane and attempted to fly elsewhere. They had hostages, but finally let the hostages go in exchange for a free flight away, so they got away. Turns out those terrorists were sponsored by none other than Qaddafi. Or we have 1979. Only a decade after Qaddafi took power, he set up what he called death squads, and he gave these men orders to kill anyone that got in his way or opposed what he had said. Or let's see, in 1986, he bombed a Berlin discotheque because American servicemen were there. He placed a bomb under a DJ table and wounded many, killed many as well. All in the name of his government, Muammar Gaddafi. If that's not enough, in December 21st, 1989, he actually bombed a plane, UTA Flight 772, it was from France and flew over the Sahara Desert, killed all 170 people on board. The authorities went to trial with this, convicted 6 people, and one of the top men convicted was actually Gaddafi's brother-in-law, a man by the name of Abdullah Sanusi. Also, again, there is the bombing that took place on the Pan Am Flight 103. Occurred near Libya. It was a Boeing 747 and killed all 259 people on board and 11 villagers on ground. Turns out the links with the bomb went back to Qaddafi and his regime as well. Again, an American flight. All in the name of his government. And the last thing I really want to focus on is the Abu Salim prison massacre. This claimed the lives of over 1,000 people. What happened was the prisoners sent to the Abu Salim prison, and by the way, this is not just criminals we're talking about, this is anyone who spoke out against the government. It could have been your brother, just happened to say he didn't like this ruler and got thrown into prison. So thousands of people there complained about the horrendous prison conditions, and that night, prison guards, the government didn't come out and say it, but the prison guards went in there and massacred all of the people there. killed close to 12,000 or 1,200 people. I'm sorry. So the families still are seeking justice for this, and as you can see here, they're picketing still because the government never came up with their bodies and didn't even inform a lot of the people. It just came out the next week and said, "I'm sorry, your family member is dead, you know, an unfortunate accident," but the families never even saw the bodies of their loved ones. So to this day, they're looking for justice for what Muammar Qaddafi has done. And I also wanted to cover some of the brief treatments in prisons. Why did these prisoners complain so much about the prison? Well, because the physical means listed, you know, how they were treated in prison. When a lot of prisoners were interviewed about this later on, they said that they had collective beating by guards regularly. They were undergoing electric shocks while hanging very often. The guards would put out cigarettes in various parts of their bodies, or they would be threatened with, you know, special parts of their bodies being harmed. They'd be kicked in the ears and face. And this isn't even the moral torture. This would just go on a regular basis to people who just oppose the government. You know, I mean, this is the regular treatment that Qaddafi has set up in his prison systems all over the country. It's really disgusting. And I also wanted to cover, why do we still support Libya, Muammar Qaddafi? And the answer is simple: oil. Libya actually exports the most oil on the whole continent of Africa. Very, very wealthy country as far as oil goes. And the United States has actually sent over CIA agents to try to take out Qaddafi, and the MI6 has already been in there, and they've been unsuccessful thus far. But they concluded that they are unable to live without the oil of the nation of Libya. So they've just decided to push it under the carpet, and as long as Qaddafi has behaved himself for the past decade, they're not going to worry about it. Also, Qaddafi paid $2.7 billion in damages to the victims. So, for the most part, everyone's just turning their heads away at this because the oil is there. Yeah, and the money. And I just wanted to also cover with you a few basic ways that you can help. First of all, never forget the people who died in Libya and who are currently dying under the regime of Muammar Qaddafi. There are just many deaths happening every day. He's a tyrannical ruler. He needs to be brought to justice, and I think that the more we turn our backs, you know, the more it's going to get worse. So what you can do is you can actually boycott some of the oil companies that are supporting Libya. You can write your representatives and President Obama and let them know that you're not supportive of what's going on over there, and you're going to take away your support in the oil company, or, you know, stuff like that. Just be aware of what's happening and take an active stance in this way, and just to prevent what is happening from getting worse and progressing, because Qaddafi needs to be toppled. He's been in power 41 years too long. So I just urge all of you to just consider what I've said tonight and to keep this in your thoughts. Politically speaking, keep it in your thoughts when you also elect people or go to vote for someone. You know, are they going to support Libya? Are they going to send money over there so that more people can end up dying in the end? So I just urge you to consider everything that I've said tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good job.